Alright YouTube, so you know what day it is. It's October 8th, which means that embargo, the NDA, whatever you want to call it, for that Fallout 76 gameplay event that they did at the Greenbrier Hotel is up. People are allowed to drop their gameplay videos, whatever videos they want to make. So there's tons of information coming out from all kinds of different sources, YouTubers, influencers, press, all that type of stuff. So I figured I would do kind of a roundup of some of the information I came across. Some of this is just general information I found out. Some of this, a couple things come from Camelworks' video, and some other stuff comes from outsidexbox's video. While I do disagree with the Greenbrier event that happened, the press event that happened, you guys already know that, made a video about that, I still am not going to pass up on covering information for the game because that's what I'm here to do with this channel. So, I have watched Camelworks' video and Oxhorn's video and outsidexbox's video. Those are the ones I've watched so far. Now, with the amount of information coming out today, it would be impossible for me to cover everything. I'm probably going to miss some important things in this video that you guys may have learned from other sources. It's just going to happen. So first up, we're going to do some general information. We actually learned what the story is for the game. The overseer for Vault 76 actually leaves the vault because she got a mission from Vault Tech to find and secure 3 nuclear missile silos. And the point of that is so we don't get a repeat of the Great War. So not only do the nuclear missile silos factor into the in-game content, they actually factor into the story, which we've already heard about, but I guess it factors into the story from the beginning. One of the other things that we learned is that you're actually able to break down items into their resources, which you could not do in Fallout 4. For example, you had a toy car in your settlement in Fallout 4, you just used it when you needed to craft stuff, if the item needed a screw or some wood. But now with Fallout 76, you could actually break down that toy car into the 1 screw and 2 wood, which is, you could kind of already do in Fallout 4. Like, if you were to use the 1 screw from that toy car, you'd still get the wood into your, inventory or whatever the case. But still, you can more directly break down your items so you know exactly how much you have of each resource. On to a little bit about the survival mechanics. We actually learned how hunger and thirst are going to affect us. If you're hungry and thirsty, you're going to just get less HP. It's pretty similar to radiation from Fallout 4, how you just overall HP is less. That's how it's going to be for hunger and thirst as well. But also, the hungrier and thirstier you are, the more susceptible you are to diseases. Now, I have no idea at all what the diseases are going to be. I didn't play much of the survival mode from Fallout 4, but I imagine pretty much every disease from that would carry over, if not some new ones as well. Something kind of small that I did find interesting is there's actually human NPCs in the game that are dead. I know this isn't groundbreaking information, but for me this makes it seem like a little less empty of a world and not so devoid of human life. You are going to find dead bodies that are human NPCs, but you'll find notes on them and you try to figure out what happened to them. So I think it's kind of interesting instead of just the entire world being, no humans at all, just Scorched and enemies and other players. You'll actually find humans that are dead and you got to figure out what happened to them. Now on to a couple of things I wrote down from Camelworks' video. First up, he says in his video that according to Bethesda, there are more side quests in this game than there were for Fallout 4, which isn't really that hard to do. And just in general, there's more content and things to do than Fallout 4, which I would hope so. But also at the same time, because it's a multiplayer game, I feel like these aren't going to be that interesting of quests. It's going to be a lot of linear things to do, but that remains to be seen. Also in his video, according to Bethesda, there's over 4,000 weapon modifications, which is actually a lot. If you think back to E3 2015, when Todd Howard was talking about Fallout 4, he claimed that there was about 700 weapon modifications. So you're looking at, what is that, over 5 times the amount that Fallout 4 has? Now, I'm assuming that they're counting literally every single weapon modification for every single weapon. So think of how many receiver attachments there are per weapon, how many barrel attachments, how many sights there are, things like that. So if this is true, and I'm assuming it is, I don't know why they even lie about it, that is great information to have. Now, onto the information I got from outsidexbox's video on Fallout 76. We actually got a closer look at the Scorch, and it's kind of interesting because they have, green crystals coming off of them. The first thing I would assume is something to do with radiation, which seems probable, but at the same time, we've never seen ghouls have the green crystals coming off of them, and if it was something to do with radiation, we would have seen it prior to this, so I'm not entirely sure what the story is behind that. Also, something else we learned from their videos, that we know that the Scorch aren't exactly feral yet, that they kind of act like it and look like it, but they wear armor and they use weapons and things, but it also turns out that they actually can talk. It's kind of brief and a little bit difficult to hear or understand, but it sounds like he's saying we are one. And if they can talk, this would kind of go back to the theory we've discussed in the past about possibly there are non-hostile Scorch that we can get quests from, so it's not just robots all the time that we interact with. And this would still fall under the category of no human NPCs. Also with their video, we got to see some actual V.A.T.S gameplay, which is kind of interesting. If you don't know, V.A.T.S is still in the game, but it's in real time, doesn't slow down time. That wouldn't really work in a multiplayer game anyways. There's not a whole lot to take away from this. We just haven't seen any V.A.T.S gameplay at all yet. They've only ever explained it to us, so I thought it was kind of interesting to show you guys. We do know that in the early stages of V.A.T.S, you cannot target specific body parts. You actually got to take on perks for that. And I believe the perk is concentrated fire. Also with their video, we got to see another mutation called empath, which actually increases the damage that you take, but everybody on your team takes less damage. So this is good for squad play. And if you're the tankier character, maybe the character that's in power armor, with like a bunch of perks that help you take less damage or something like that. And the last few things we're going to look at from their video have to do with the nukes. And first up, we actually get to see what it's like when you get the nuke warning. When a nuke is coming inbound to your location, we actually get to hear and see what the nuke warning is.
Attention citizens, nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience.
And if you look up at the top right corner of that gameplay, you actually see that it gives you a countdown timer of 3 minutes. So you have 3 minutes to clear out of that area. And also if you go into the map, you can see what the strike zone is going to be. Also in their video, according to Bethesda, gathering the nuke codes is actually going to be a weekly event.
Several of these codes to trigger a strike, and you can share them between teams, but there will be a limit on how often you can do this. We were told it was a weekly event.
To me, this is both good and bad information. It's good because people were really concerned with this, thinking like, oh, they're going to get the nukes and they're just going to be bombing us the whole time, which doesn't really matter because you can just rebuild your settlement for cheap really quickly. And dying doesn't really matter. You might lose some junk loot, but whatever. You respawn and keep going and playing. Don't lose any progression. So I never really was concerned with nukes. But it's also good information because it's not something people can do whenever they want to. You can't just go around bombing the map all the time if it's a weekly event. But I can also see it as kind of bad information in a way, because if it's a limited thing that happens like once a week or whatever, it's going to be heavily trafficked by other players, and if you're trying to participate in the nuking and launching of the nukes, unless you're good at PvP, you're probably not going to really get to participate. And lastly, from their video, we actually get to see what it's like when a location gets bombed by a nuke up close. And from this gameplay, we get to see that if you don't have something to protect yourself from the radiation, you die very, very quickly. And that'll be it for this video, guys. This kind of roundup of information I got this morning. Again, there's probably tons of information out there that I've missed out on, but I can't watch every single video, and I just want to put out a video for you guys today. Now, I won't guarantee a second upload today, but if I come across something that's pretty major information that we need to talk about or you guys need to know, then I'll definitely make another video. But as of this point going forward, we're probably doing a lot of daily uploads because we're going to get tons of information this week. So let me know your thoughts below as usual, guys. And if you come across some pretty good information, be sure and let me know that in the comments, like link me to videos, articles, whatever the case, because help your boy out, man. We out here we on this grind, man. We're trying to get to 11,000 now. And as always, if you guys went on to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid, at my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity, or at least just peace.